You aren't broke. You're just exhausted from buying a life you don't even like to impress people who don't care. Most people drown in wants because they're terrified of looking average. But Nolan lives by one ruthless rule: never let your ego write a check that your freedom can't cash. One afternoon, Nolan accompanied a colleague to a luxury car dealership. The colleague wanted the latest $120,000 SUV on a high-interest lease, claiming it was a professional necessity to maintain his image at the golf club. Nolan didn't argue. He simply asked the salesman, "What is the projected depreciation on this model over the next 24 months?" The salesman admitted, "About 40%. Nolan whispered to his colleague, "You aren't buying a vehicle. You are renting the respect of strangers for $48,000 over 2 years. That's not a need. That's a tax on your own insecurity." Nolan drove away in his impeccably maintained older car, while his surplus capital went into a logistics company that actually transports those luxury SUVs. Nolan doesn't need validation, he needs ownership. Nolan once mentored a young assistant who complained he could never save, despite several raises. Nolan asked to see his bank statement. It was littered with dozens of app subscriptions, aesthetic morning coffees, and payments for the latest gadget. "These are just small things, Nolan," the young man said. "They make me happy." Nolan replied, "Instant gratification is a want disguised as a mental need. Every time you pay for a convenience you don't actually require, you are trading your future hours of freedom to someone else." Nolan taught him the 48-hour rule. If you want something that isn't a basic survival need, wait 2 days. If the urge disappears, it was never a need. It was an impulse trying to steal your retirement. There was a time when Nolan desperately wanted a limited edition performance motorcycle. It was sleek, fast, and cost as much as a small apartment. It was his ultimate want. But instead of touching his savings, Nolan set a challenge. He refused to buy the bike until he acquired an asset that could pay for it. He bought a small commercial kiosk in a growing district and rented it out. Only when the monthly rental income covered the financing and maintenance of the bike did he sign the papers. His strategy was clear. Never buy your wants with your principal. Let your assets buy them for you. He got the bike, but he kept the kiosk. His desire was satisfied, yet his wealth grew anyway. The average person works to satisfy today's urges. The wealthy build systems so their urges are paid for automatically by the future. The difference between rich and broke is often just one question before you swipe your card. Does this give me value, or does it just give me a mask? If you're ready to stop being a slave to your impulses and start being the architect of your wealth, our ebook is ready for you. Click the link in the bio to get your copy and learn how to turn every expense into an investment. Because in the end, the choice is simple. Do you want to own luxury goods, or do you want to own your time?